5-star matchup. If you like what we do, please consider subscribing now and follow 5-Star Radio on Spotify and/or Apple Podcasts. Well, friends, you know why we're here, and it's of course for the Comedy Central roast of Ben Roethlisberger and the putrid Steelers offense. A black mark of a game, but I assure you I'll do my best to get us through it alive. Out trots the old gunslinger, and you know what they say, there's no better time to chuck it deep than 3rd and 6. And we wonder why this team hasn't scored in the first quarter in nearly a year of real time. Yikes. Fast forward a little bit, and it's the story of the game. Najee finally breaks a decent run, and it's called back. Tack on another penalty, and this offense is moving steadily backwards. 3rd and 23, Canada waves the white terrible towel and decides another hit on his 6'4" receiver is worth a useless yard, and the Steelers thankfully punt. Out trots Joey Burrow now, and for one of the few times on this day, the pressure gets to him, and with Bam Bam Cam crashing in, Burrow rifles high into double coverage, and it's tipped by the Mink Man and collected by Cookie's favorite son, Terrell, and we have our first turnover of the day. Gotta capitalize. Determined to show that he's still got it, Ben pump fakes with a defender already draped over him and then decides to flick this little lob, and the diving interception is of course made by the linebacker. In fairness to Ben, the contact was in about 2 seconds, but still, just gotta eat the sack, Large Benjamin. Because it's that time in the game where we start to realize even a field goal might be insurmountable. Joe gets cooked for a first, and then on 3rd and 2, we see the difference between 2.1 and 2.4 seconds to throw as Burrow finds Boyd, and 3 Steelers simply refuse to tackle him as he dances into the once pridefully protected Heinz Field end zone. I get that Ingram was trying to knock his cleats off, but dude, you gotta use your arms, at least a little. Back to the offense, and peep this doozy. Canada dials up a little play action, and somehow with 7 blockers on 5 rushers, Kendrick Green is blocking nobody and the entire pocket collapses on Roethlisberger before he can even dump it off. Oh, it gets worse. 9 in the box because no one gives a flying fuck about anything downfield, and instead of handing it to JuJu, who might have galloped 60 plus for a score with no one paying any attention to him, we hand it straight up the gut to Naj, where Kevin Dotson's man meets him 4 yards in the backfield. Yuck. Take a minute to count the Bengals rushing. Yes, you're correct. It's 8 blitzers. Ben knows he's got to check it out quick, but all 3 receivers are running to the exact same spot and he fires errantly outside. The chances of success the second this ball was snapped were between 0 and 1%. The best just keeps getting better. Everybody was clamoring for pre-snap motion, and we finally get it. Check it out, both tight ends and Claypool motion, and by some miracle, 7 blockers on 4 rushers buys 7 just a little time, but he can't find anyone and eventually takes the sack. Better than an errant missed throw or interception, but if you're only going to get time here and there, you gotta take advantage of it when you do. 2nd and 15, and the only thing I know for sure is that most times good things happen when you throw it to number 19. Great catch and run for a first by Mr. Smith-Schuster, who always gets the job done. Okay, time to get the run game going now. Naj makes the first man miss 4 yards in the backfield, and he's off for a nice carry, and I guess that's okay, because on the very next play, that same first-round pick takes that shit and gallops for another 20. This offense may be in disarray, but Najee is ours and you cannot have him. He is going to be a superstar whether the rest of the offense follows his lead or not. Finally, a little momentum late in the half with conversions to Chase and 2 to Najee, and don't look now, but the Steelers are inside the 10. Because the more things change, the more they stay the same. The Steelers run a classic play they've used since the Tommy Maddox days, but I don't care because the air fryer scores his first touchdown and you love to f***ing see it. A half of terrible football and it's a tie game. Now we just gotta get out with that score preserved. Big incompletion on 2nd, but are you f***ing kidding me? Another penalty. Marvelous Melvin, as the last surviving pass rusher on the Pittsburgh Steelers, gets flagged in a crucial moment for contacting Burrow's shoulder with his chest as he's getting rid of the ball, and I just don't know what to say. Whatever, just hold him to a field goal. Fuck. Just in case you weren't already in love with this pineapple pizza of a half, Roethlisberger attempts to make more chicken shit out of chicken salad by tossing a brutal hospital ball to the bank and a feeble incompletion and run just to squeeze in one more 3 and out as we meekly head into the half. Steelers 7, Bengals 14. Into the second half, and oh good, the defense sucks now too. Great. After eating half the quarter, the Bengals kick a field goal to go up 17-7, and I couldn't see this version of the Steelers offense putting up 17 on the board today if the Bengals played 10 on D the rest of the way. Just in case you were feeling too good about any one player, here's a drop by Najee. Crucial 3rd and 4 if the Steelers are going to get back into it, and Ben, like usual, finds himself on the run and decides to fire directly into triple coverage and is obviously picked off. This hurts my soul to say it, but this is playing your 7-year-old cousin on Madden type stuff, not 18-year quarterback kind of stuff. How Ben didn't see the back or underneath is already beyond me, and besides that, even if the guy wasn't there, it's probably picked by the DB. And even if that didn't happen, it's probably forced incomplete by the 3rd defender. Just hurts to see. First and goal for the Bengals, and set your stopwatch because Burrow gets the time Ben gets on 2 plays combined and finds Jamar Chase again toasting that other older member of the team, and while I hate everything about this, the Bengals are commandingly in the lead, 24-7. Back to Ben and the boys, and what's this? A deep, sorta, almost middle throw? How about a little zip and lead and pat deep, Ben? Don't worry, it gets worse. 3rd and 10, Chase runs a great route and comes open down the seam, and the throw's missed almost exactly where it was on the play previous. I'm sorry, I really am not trying to throw dirt on my hero's grave here, but on this play, Ben is late, throws to the wrong place, and for good measure gets cracked on the end of it. I love number 7, but if this isn't a touchdown in the NFL, you're not playing well enough at that position. Sorry, friends. Because he wanted to make sure our views dropped to single digits this week, Boz misses like he never does, and at this point all we can do is laugh and or cry together. Only putting this to give a little cred to Joe's show, who I continue to be impressed by. A comedy of errors! You know, a punt on 5-star is almost never good, and this one's a fuck ton of fuckery. Ray plays the ball and falls down. The ball dies at the 6, and there's a goddamn holding. Just when you thought it couldn't get worse, we put Roethlisberger in his own end zone. Excuse me, officer, but why are you handcuffing me, is what Ray should say to Ben on this, what should be his 3rd pick of the day. No excuse here. One of the best pockets of the day, and Roethlisberger just can't hit it. I hate saying it as much as you hate hearing it, but there is just too much pointing at the common denominator to ignore it. Fuck. Again, just a smidge late, but good completion to the bank for the first, and we're into the final stanza, thankfully. 3rd and 5, and never one to lie down. Ben hangs this one up nicely for that same Mr. McLeod, and there can be only one as he goes up and gets it over Mini Mike Hilton. Nice gainer to get us to lean just slightly forward again. Just showing this pair because I have to give credit to a guy I'm sometimes hard on. Chase Claypool was putting his body on the line all damn day as Ben repeatedly chucked him hospital passes, and I wouldn't have blamed him one bit for not coming back in after getting shaken up. But the dude showed serious toughness. Respect. Another comedy of errors at the goal line though, as 1st and goal at the 3 leads to a penalty, a sack, another f***ing penalty, and a give up on 3rd and goal from the 76-yard line. What the actual f*** are we watching here? Watch this moment between the 2 titans of our team, Big Ben and Mike T. Sometimes humans tell you everything they need to say without saying a word. Buckle up, yinzers, because whether it's immediate or delayed, we're about to go through some turbulence. Boz knocks through a pathetic field goal, and the Bengals still lead by 14. Blech. As if this wasn't fitting enough, a tip right towards Minka, but there's still no magic to be found in number 39's old silk hat through 3 games, and he can't grab a game-shifting pick. Back to offense, and in case the field goal was inspiring you to feel good about the offense in Roethlisberger, how does a flat-out missed 85-yard touchdown hit you? Look, I know everything's not perfect, but Washington has 2 steps on his man. If you hit him, it's a 7-point game with 6 minutes to go. That's the shitty thing about this whole game. It's not that the Steelers didn't have chances, it's that they were either physically or mentally unable to take advantage of them. And you're just not getting far in this league if you leave that many plays on the field. I'll still never question Ben's toughness or desire to win though, as he's still in there firing, but can somebody tell me how the Steelers haven't brought in a tackle? It's 1st and 10, the Bengals rush 4, and both tackles are in Roethlisberger's lap before he can even dump it off or overthrow somebody. He's not playing up to snuff, but I'm not sure how many would or could behind this protection. A misfire high to the well-covered and reasonably unfriendly Brontosaurus on 3rd, and that sets up a grotesque 5-star
play of the game.
Here we go, 4th and 10. It goes to Harris. With a beat on him over there is Davis Gaither.
Asked about this play call after the game, Mike T admitted we had fired all of our bullets at this juncture in terms of some of our play selection. And to that I say, excuse me, what? You're telling me after 2.9 games, the Matt Canada offense is out of plays? What does that mean exactly, and how should we interpret it? Is that a coaching problem? Is it the fault of the guy that we're told is the hyper-analytical young hotshot college coordinator? Is it an installation problem? It's not like he was hired mid-season. We had a full off-season with Matt Canada. Are the receivers really doing the wrong things that frequently? Or is it time we face the inevitable conclusion that the common denominator in all of this is the point guard who handles the ball on every play? By out of bullets, Tomlin didn't mean the Matt Canada playbook had no more plays to run. He meant that it had no more plays to run in the Ben Roethlisberger approved chapter of that same book. A cowardly look for Tomlin and the team a week after much of the same against the Raiders. I don't mean to bring you the doom and gloom, folks. I'm just calling things how I see them. This tape was as bad as it gets for our fearless leader, and I haven't seen the All-22, which I guarantee is probably worse. Is the line still the biggest problem? Yeah, I think it is, and certainly they need to grow and get better as the season goes on if they want any chance to compete. But even if they do, I'm just not really sure at this point how high the ceiling is. But I do know that regardless of what happens, I'll still be wearing a jersey on Sunday. Here we go. If you're still here, please consider joining our Patreon for only a couple bucks. It's the best way to support the show, and we offer some fun perks and goodies. Do it.